I remember sitting down and seeing, the others reading the teleprompter. I said, hey, I used to do that. 29 years na kami this
Kaya
coming
nga po,
April.
29 years.
Ang biro ko nga, tinatanong sa akin, kumusta na si Sharon? Sabi ko, ayun, patay na patay pa rin sa akin.
29 years!
Atin lang yun.
Hindi makakarating. Hindi po makakarating ito.
Kundi, patay ako sa kanya. Mahalaga sa akin ang pamilya. Being a husband, being a father is important. Of course, being a senator is also important. Thankfully, in our many years, I've never been involved in any acts of corruption or anti-graft.
Pag-usapan po natin yung journey ninyo nung 2022 elections. You were supposed to run for
Re-election.
Senate. Re-election.
Number 8 na ako sa survey nun eh. And I have no regrets. That defeat led me to where I am today. There's no such thing as failure, only delay.
Success.
Yeah, only delay. It was a great honor and a privilege to have fought that fight.
What made you decide to run for Senate again? This has been your life for almost 3 decades
Yes,
as a
yes.
public servant.
That's right. Oo.
Kasi nagsimula po kayo 1988.
Konsehal, yes, ng Quezon City. 4.5 years yung term nun. Kasi yun yung unang local officials after the restoration ng democracy. So una talaga, 88 to 92. Then I ran for Congress, hindi tayo pinalad nun. So bumalik ako sa law school, tinapos ko, tapos nag-bar ako, tapos nag-practice ng law, tapos legal analysis and legal commentary sa ABS-CBN. From 92 until 2000. Doon, minsan, naalala ko nakikita kita doon dahil nasa Star Records ka pa ata, yung una mong salta.
Bago-bago
Diba?
pa lang po.
Yeah.
Dahil doon niyo po na-meet si Miss Sharon.
Doon ko siya niligawan.
Ayun, doon nagkaligawan.
Yes, iba ang hangin doon sa recording studio. May kamandag.
When you were young, was this something na na-envision yung magiging ganito ako paglaki ko? I will enter politics.
No, not at all. Kasi nga, wala namang politika sa family namin. My father was a entrepreneur, businessman, civil engineer, and my mother was a public school teacher, nagturo sa UP, and then opened her own preschool. So wala kaming sa politika. But both of them actually were student leaders sa community. So yung leadership, siguro dun. And so when we were in high school, ini-encourage kami ng parents namin, to be active in leadership roles, but not politics.
Pero anong pangarap niyo po nung bata kayo?
Maging astronaut. Yun ang bala ko talaga. Kasi I was turning 6 nung napanood namin live yung landing ng Apollo 11 sa moon. Biro mo, magsi-6 ako doon. Pero ang biro ko, hindi ko man naabot ang buwan. Naabot ko naman ang megastar, ang bituin.
Nakuha niyo naman ang megastar. You studied in UP Diliman ng Bachelor of Arts in English. Tapos, naging member din po kayo ng fraternity.
Yes, Upsilon Sigma Phi. Ang mga distinguished members niyan is President Ferdinand Marcos, Ninoy Aquino, Vice President Doy Laurel. Our fraternity has brothers from various political persuasions.
Pero during that time, nung nasa UP kayo, apolitical pa po kayo noon?
In my first year, second year, yes. Kasi varsity player ako eh. Men's volleyball team. I played for 3 years. So lang ako kami, happy-go-lucky, aral, etc. Until the 1983. Nung binaril si Ninoy Aquino. Ang umpisa sa akin is, teka muna, brad ko yan, di ba? At brad ko rin si Marcos. Ba't nagkaganito ang frat? And then unti-unti, namulat ako. Nakita ko yung katotohanan na matindi ang kahirapan. Nakita ko yung realidad sa baba. Doon ko sinabi na kailangan kumilos, manindigan, gumawa ng paraan para itong mga problema and social ills ay natutugunan.
Kaya po ba kayo nag-aral ng batas?
In that sense, yes. Ang mga tinitingala kong mga abogado noon is si Pepe Jokno, Free Legal Assistance Group siya. So nagbibigay ng libreng serbisyong legal sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na yung mga walang kaya. Doon ako namulat din sa pagiging human rights lawyer. And then I went to Harvard. I took up in Harvard was public administration na. Gusto ko nang luminya naman sa pamumuno at pamamahala. Dahil nga naging konsehal na ako noon ng Quezon City. And patuloy pa rin yung aking concern kung paano magiging maayos ang buhay ng tao sa isang gobyerno na tinutugunan ang problema ng taong bayan.
Kayo din po ang founding president ng National Movement of Young Legislators at that time.
And it's composed of all yung kabataang mambabata sa buong Pilipinas. Para magsama-sama ang mga kabataan, isulong ang aming mga issues tulad ng edukasyon, tulad ng livelihood. So yun yung layunin. And syempre gusto namin yung bagong politika. Ibig sabihin yung tapat at malinis at good governance.
So what do you think po was your biggest preparation when you run for Senate the first time?
My being a lawyer, no? Nag-aaral ako ng batas, di ba? At naging abogado, nag-practice ng law. So, siyempre, pag legislator ka, dapat may alam ka sa batas. And yun, yung ating naging sa local government. Yung 4.5 years ko noon, naintindihan ko yung local governance, napakahalaga. It also helped me better do my work as a legislator.
Nung tumakbo po kayong senador, the first time you wrote a letter to Frankie?
Yes. When we started the campaign in February, Frankie was only 2 months old. I was a new dad in that regard, di ba? Sinabi ko sa kanya is, I'm running because I want my country a better nation for you, di ba? That you can be safe, that you can be proud of. Ipaglalaban ko yung mas magandang Pilipinas para sa'yo.
What shocked you po the first time that you had an experience as a senator na makita nyo, ganito pala ang sistema ng national government?
Grabe yung stress. Sabi nga nila, sa Senate, 24 ang senador, pero mga 100 ang reporter. Mahatching ka lang majajaryo ka na, di ba?
At asawa pa po kayo ng megastar.
Yes, yes.
So parang
Yes.
mas may spotlight sa inyo.
Exactly. So sa amin, we just had to, ako talagang ipaglalaban ko yung privacy, pinaglaban ko ng gusto. There were certain areas na non-negotiable na hindi ako pumapayag. Mahalaga sa akin ang pamilya. Being a husband, being a father is important. Of course, being a senator is also important. But all of them, wala akong pinabayaang oras. Talagang nilaan ko, inaral ko. Thankfully, in our many years, wala namang major scandal na masasabing kapalpakan or whatever because we tried our best. And sa pamilya naman, 29 years na kami this
Kaya
coming
nga po,
April.
29 years.
Oh, ang biro ko nga, tinatanong sa akin, kumusta na si Sharon? Sabi ko, ayun, patay na patay pa rin sa akin.
29 years.
Atin
Atin
lang yun,
Hindi
kasi-
makakarating. Hindi po makakarating ito.
Kundi, patay ako sa kanya.
Pero po, noong 2010, you chaired the Senate Committee on Agriculture.
Yun. Nung na-offer sa akin yung Senate Committee on Agriculture, at that time, very corrupt. Pangalawa, pinakamahirap ang ating magsasaka at mangingisda. So sabi ko, ayusin na natin yung corruption sa agriculture, ayusin natin yung kahirapan ng farmers at fisherfolk. So I took it on. Umiikot ako sa iba't ibang parte ng Pilipinas. Nagbasa rin ako ng maraming libro tungkol sa agriculture. Pero after all of that, sabi ko, unless ako mismo ang mag-farm, lahat nitong binasa ko at nakita ko, hindi ko talaga maintindihan ng lubos. So, pumasok ako sa farming when I stepped down from the Senate after my second term. Nag-full-time ako. Hindi naman ako farmer, pero ang tawag ko sa sarili ko, farmer CEO. Kasi farm enterprise siya. So doon ko naranasan. Yung tinamaan ako ng Glenda, 2014, ubos yung aking tanim, nilipad yung aking 4 na greenhouse, wasak yung aking nursery, wala na akong punla. Sabi ko, Panginoon kong Diyos, ganito pala nangyayari sa mga magsasaka pag tinamaan ng bagyo. So, sabi ko, unless suportahan ang agri-sector and our farmers and our fisherfolk, naniniwala ako na hindi tayo magiging progresibong bansa hanggat hindi natin inaayos yung sektor ng agrikultura.
What do you think is the biggest problem of our country?
Well, dalawa. Good governance and poverty. And sa akin, good governance is important. Yung corruption issues, kailangan talagang matugunan yan. And if you ask me how, modernize natin yung justice system natin. kulang ang budget ng ating hudikatura para maging isang modern na sistema ng katarungan na talagang nagfa-function ng maayos. Kasi pag mabilis ang paglilitis at mabilis ang parusa, behave na lahat. Mababawasan na ng gusto itong corruption. We'll do that together with, of course, bringing down food prices. So dapat ayusin natin yung supply ng pagkain, which is really agriculture and fisheries.
The Philippines is so rich in natural resources.
Totoo.
And yet, we are considered as a third world
Yes.
country.
Hindi tayo dapat mahirap, mga Pilipino. Dapat mayaman tayo. Mayaman ang Pilipinas eh. Sabi ko nga, ang kwento ko, yung magdunyog ang pinakamahirap na farmer. Kung ayusin lang natin yung industriya ng magdunyog, wala nang mahirap na coconut farmer. Tama yung naging direksyon na i-prioritize itong agriculture. Ginawa natin to sa infrastructure. Dati 150 billion lang nung first term ko ang budget ng public works. Today, it's about 1 trillion. So, malaki na, di ba? Ganun din dapat sa agriculture. Kung today, it's about 250 billion, maybe in the next 10 years, it should reach maybe 800 billion so that we can finally address yung gaps sa food production natin, sa support sa farmers natin para tumaas talaga ang income nila, gumanda ang food supply, bumaba ang presyo.
What do you think po is your proudest achievement as a senator?
That I've never been involved in any acts of corruption or anti-graft. Dami natin mga kababayan, hirap na sa buhay nila. Umasa sa atin. Tapos magtataksil tayo dahil gagamitin natin yung pwesto para magnakaw. Hindi ko kayang sa konsyensya ko yun. No? Kaya that's one, na ama ako. Sinasabi ko sa mga anak ko, hindi tama yan. I teach them right from wrong. Di ba? How can I teach them kung ano ang tama, kung ano ang mali? Kung ako mismo, hindi ko na alam kung ano yung tama at mali sa trabaho ko.
The most memorable project po na ginawa ninyo?
Yung Gawad Kalinga, I was chairman of the Senate Committee on Housing in my first term. But I also allocated the biggest amount of funding for homes ng Gawad Kalinga among the senators. When we first tied up with Gawad Kalinga, there was only about 21 Gawad Kalinga sites outside of Metro Manila. That was in 2001. By 2007, with my assistance and the support of others, of course, 1,200 sites na ng Gawad Kalinga. So that's also something I'm very proud of. And of course, yung advocacy sa farming. As NFA chairman and food security secretary, we were able to bring down rice prices from 15% inflation to 0.8%. Mga 3 piso kada kilo na pababa natin ang presyo ng bigas sa loob ng 1 taon. And by that time, pinakamababang inflation sa 20 taon. So that I'm also proud of.
Pag-usapan po natin yung journey ninyo nung 2022 elections.
Yeah.
Kasi I was reading about it. Originally, hindi po talaga kayo tatakbo as vice president.
Yes.
You were supposed to run for
Re-election.
Senate. Re-election.
Number 8 na ako sa survey nun eh. In October.
Yes.
October din hiningi sa akin ni Vice President Lenny na maging vice presidential
Running
candidate. I was one of those na nagpe-persuade sa kanya na tumakbo eh. In fact, 1.6 months before October, sinabi ko sa kanya, Ma'am, I know you plan to run for governor because that was her plan na. I hope you reconsider. The country needs your leadership in the national level. Please run for president. Sabi niya, I understand your concern, but you know, Sen, sabi niya, ang tunay na happiness ko is sa lokal. Eh, sabi ko, baka naman sabihin niya, sumasang-ayon ako dun, kaya kailangan ko sagutin. So, sinagot ko, I understand, ma'am. Pero in our line of work, when did we put our happiness first? Oh, di ba? So, ganda nung sagot, no? Sabi niya, if it's meant to be, it will happen. So, 6 months later, it was meant to be and it happened. Tapos tinanong ako, alam ka naman sabihin ko sa kanya, ma'am kasi ang happiness ko sa Senate lang. Mahirap na.
Kayo naman ang binalikan. Nabalikan kayo ng tanong.
Yes. So I said, okay. Tsaka sabi ko, ma'am, in case lang, kasi sabi ko magiging mahirap dahil si Sharon very close to sa uncle Tito niya, kay Tito siya, ay magbabang. Sabi ko, Sharon will be heartbroken. Sino pa ang pwede nating makausap ngayon? Sabi niya sa akin, well, if you say no, given yung pamilya, yung dynamics sa pamilya, tatakbo na lang ako ng walang vice president. Hindi naman pwede din yun, di ba? So this was the context. And then thankfully, when I spoke to Sharon, interesting enough, she said, whatever you decide, I will support. With Sharon's blessings, it was the right thing to do, to support her. And I have no regrets. Because nga, ang galing nung naging kampanya na. I mean, at least yung paglabas ng tao, unbelievable. At least I've never seen that in my 30 years in national, yung tao mismo. Sabi ko, never ako nakakita ng mural ko, ha? Sabi ko, buhay pa naman ako, ba't nandun na ako?
Looking back, how would you describe that experience?
It was a great honor and a privilege to have fought that fight. And I'm thankful that we were able to inspire many people. Maybe not yet enough, di ba? Sabi ko nga, when you are passionate about social transformation, there's no such thing as failure, only delay.
Success.
Yeah, only delay.
Di ba sabi po nila, you learn more in losing than in winning?
Yes, true. Wag nating aawayin who do not share our views. Hikayatin natin, kumbinsihin natin, di ba? Respetuhin natin, di ba? And it works both ways. Sabi ba, respect begets respect, di ba? So, maraming mga medyo naging overzealous in that regard, na dapat sa halip na inaaway yung mga hindi sumasang-ayon sa punto de vista natin, dapat nakikipag-usap, nakikipag-dialogo, to reach out. No? In other words, if you believe in democracy, you should live it. Diba? And democracy is about diverse opinions, differences in opinions.
What's the first thing you did po the next day after elections?
Stayed home and slept. I didn't really think of it, sabi ko nga doon sa mga anak ko, kung nanalo ako dati, nung tumakbo akong congressman, baka mama and I would not have been together. Baka wala kayong lahat.
Yeah.
Kasi sabi ko, kung wala kayong lahat sa buhay ko, what kind of life is that? So that defeat led me to where I am today. It opened up, beautiful opportunities. And therefore, this defeat will likewise open up opportunities and bring us to the purpose. We just have to have faith.
What made you decide to run for Senate again?
Because that was my original plan.
Oo nga pala, no?
Well, more so because ang taas na presyo ng pagkain. That was my advocacy. It has been my advocacy for the last 10, 12 years. So, parang I felt duty-bound. Parang sinasabi sa akin, ikaw ang marunong magpababa ng presyo ng pagkain. Nababa mo na dati. So, ito na. Diba? So, I said, sige, let's fight. Diba? Let's offer, diba, ourselves and try to find a solution to that problem of high food prices.
Pag nabigyan po kayo ng pagkakataon na makabalik sa Senate, ano po yung top 3 policies?
Well, first, papile tayo ng resolution para imbestigahan bakit mataas ang presyo ng pagkain. Nasaan ang problema? Sino ang mga nagsasamantala? Bakit hindi sila hinahabol? Sabi ko nga, kung kayang paarestuhin si Alice Go at nakumbinsi ang presidente na iba ng pogo dahil sa Senate hearings, kaya rin at sakaling makumbinsi ang presidente na habulin at ayusin yung sistema ng agrikultura at nung mataas na presyo ng pagkain kung mayroong mga Senate hearing na i-expose bakit. Second is a bill that will make breakfast, almusal, libre from grade 1 to 12th grade sa lahat ng public elementary and high schools. It will stop the stunting, malnutrition ng ating mga anak. It will alleviate expenses. Yung bibilhin na pagkain para sa almusal, dapat sa farmers yung bulto. At least 50% sa local na mga farmers at fisher folk bibilhin.
Ito ang mga maiinit na issue na gustong marinig ng ating mga kababayan kung ano ang take ninyo. Death penalty.
Against ako dyan. Hindi yung tindi ng parusa, kung hindi yung katiyakan ng parusa ang siyang magbibigay ng takot.
Same-sex marriage.
I'm not ready to support. Kasi yung marriage, aspeto ng relihiyon yun, may kanya-kanyang paniniwala. Hayaan na yung mga simbahan dyan. Pero sa civil laws, we can have same-sex unions to address yung property rights.
Sex education po.
Ako, it is important to address itong unwanted teenage pregnancies. But it has to be age-appropriate material.
Lowering age of criminal responsibility.
No. I think what should be done is to strengthen the juvenile justice system. Hindi totoong walang kaparusahan pag minor de edad. That is fake news. Merong appropriate intervention. Pwedeng ma-detain minimum of 1 year kung serious offenses ang involved ang isang minor de edad. So hindi totoong pinapakawalan, against the law yan. But it has to be implemented properly.
What is your take on divorce?
In exceptional cases, I believe divorce should be made available. For example, 20 taon na pareho silang may kanya-kanya ng partner, 20 years. Eh, syempre naman, medyo mali na yun, di ba? Bugbog sarado yung lalaki, o hindi lalaki, yung babae.
Abusive relationship.
Yes. Di ba? And it's clearly abusive and, you know, it might even end to a death, di ba? Tama na, ipigil na, end it.
Pag public official po, meron ng misconception lagi ang mga tao. Ano po sa tingin niyo yung biggest misconception kay Kiko Pangilinan?
Sabi nila, wala akong nagawa. Ako daw babaero para masira yung pamilya. Tuwing eleksyon, lumalabas lahat yun, di ba? Hindi ko kayang saktan yung mahal ko, di ba? The Pangilinan family, at least our siblings, alam ng marami na we are passionate about family and marriage. So yun, huwag maniwala sa napakaraming pinakakalat na fake news tungkol sa amin.
What is your vision for the Philippines?
Alam mo, the Philippines, we are in the center of Asia. So we should really take advantage of our location. Ang ganda ng natural resources natin. We can be the seafood capital of Asia because napaka-rich ng ating aquamarine resources. The biggest potential for us is to be first world and to reach the level, if not surpass the level of Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia. We can do it. We just need to ensure that the right leaders are in place and that the citizens themselves are tired of mediocrity, yung kalokohan at gusto na talaga ng ayusin yung bansa. Sama-sama, kaya natin gawin yun.
But if there's one thing na gusto niyo pong malaman ng mga Pilipino tungkol kay Kiko Pangilinan, ano po yun?
Formal akong tingnan, pero sa loob, pusong mamuno ko, iyakin ako. At siguro yun din ang nag-uudyok sa akin na manatiling tapat dahil gusto kong makatulong maayos yung ating bansa.
What makes Kiko Pangilinan angry?
Pag merong inaalipusta, pag merong inaapi, dun kumukulo yung dugo ko. No? Because yun ang kinalakihan ko, di ba? Bilang abogado, yun ang naging mindset ko. So, injustice makes me very angry.
What makes you sad?
That our people deserve better quality of life, lower food prices, better health care, affordable, masarap na pagkain, and they're not getting it. Diba? Alam mo yung si Tatang Neg, isa siyang farmer, 92 years old. 3 silang farmer na kilala ko. Si Tatang Neg, si Tatang Maming, namatay na si Tatang Maming, he was 78. And one more farmer. Basta ang combined number of years nila na nagpa-farming was 168 years from the time they were teenagers. Pero gutom pa rin sila, kapos pa rin at mahirap. Hindi katanggap-tanggap yun, di ba? Sino bang gusto ng ganito sa ating mga kababayan, di ba? Na parang kailangan pang mag-ibang bansa para makapagtrabaho ng maayos, nahihiwalay sa mga mahal sa buhay. At yung mga anak natin na hindi sapat ang kalidad ng edukasyon na nakuha nila. It also reminds me na we have to keep fighting for a better future. Habang may kaya pa ako, di ba? Makakatulong ako na i-correct yung ganong hindi makatarungang sitwasyon, di ba? Through policy sa Senado para maayos yung ating pamumuno at pamamahala at yung kalidad ng buhay ng ating mga kababayan, yun ang gagawin ko. Yun ang palagay ko. Pagkatapos na ng lahat, bago ako mamatay, sasabihin ko, kaya maganda na ang buhay ngayon, kaya mas maayos na ang buhay ngayon dahil nung kinakailangan tumindig at tumaya at ayusin, nandyan tayo. Siyempre, kasama ang mas marami nating mga kababayan.
Naging controversial po yung picture na pinost dati ni Miss Sharon po ba yun? Sa Malacanang?
Oo.
Kasi napakainit ng supporters ng red at ng pink. So nung nagsama po kayo sa litrato, talagang nag-spark ng reaction.
Oo nga. Pero sa akin kasi, why were we there? It was for the movie industry.
Yeah.
You're part of that. Kumbaga, may mga bagay na tama, suportahan. Pero sana wala nang kulay. Walang kulay ang gutom. Diba?
Salamat po, Sen,
Thank you,
sa panahon
thank you.
na nilaan nyo sa amin.
Nako,
Maraming salamat po sa
salamat.
pag-share
Thank you.
ng inyong journey.
Sharon says her regards.
We
Ako
love
naman,
her po. Ay, eto na talaga.
yan. Ito, organic to pareho.
Sa farm
ha?
niyo po galing?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So merong
Wow.
romaine, may wansoy. And this is my journey sa farming.
May ganito po kayo, Kakiko. Kakiko.
Ang slogan niya, may asim ka pa.
Yan. Thank
Paul,
you, Sen.
direct.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Regards to your dad.
I will.
Thank
You know that his dad directed my TV campaign ad
Hindi nga po.
in 2007.
That's your dad?
I was PA pa din.
Yeah, that was the soundtrack, and then he did the video. And then we're still using it now.
Yeah, seriously.
Dito na si Kiko, Kiko Pangilinan.